Welcome back everyone, it's Danny here from Our Humble Home DIY. So this week I am working on the ensuite. I actually did refresh it all, painted it, cleaned it, but this video really is focusing more on this section here, getting rid of this cabinet, the sticky tiles. The pedestal I'm keeping. I did want to replace it and do a DIY and a little wooden cabinet and make it into a pretty little basin and cabinet, but I never had enough time. But I knew there would be a lot of damage behind these tiles and cabinet, so in this video I'll be focusing on that, how I'm fixing it up, and I'll show you the result in the end. I just took this off the wall thinking I was videoing, and I was talking to you for so long, and then I went to turn the video camera off and I realized I hadn't even videoed it, but I pulled it off. Came off relatively easy, not cleanly as you can see because it's taken all the paint off, but in my experience with sticky things on walls, that's what happens when you put anything contacty on walls with paint. And speaking of contact on walls, you might remember my Temu wallpaper disaster. Putting it on, people were bagging me and saying that I didn't put it on properly, and that could be true. I was hopeless at contacting the kids' books. But even if you can put it on properly, taking it off is another thing, and this is what happened to the wall. It just destroyed it, and I did manage to fix it. Paste the paper wallpaper or paste the wall wallpaper is the way to go, I think. It's actual paper, it's not contact paper. To get it off, I just pull off the top layer, spray the paper underneath with water, and then it just peels right off. It's actually fun to do and really satisfying. So that's what I will be doing in the future and steering away from peel and stick. I did put a similar type of thing on in the laundry, and that was just on the tile, so that will be okay to take off. But anything with paint or anything that can rip the surface off, I wouldn't bother unless you're willing to spend time fixing it, which I'll have to do with this. I'll have to fill that in there. I think that's where the handrail was. Actually, I could probably leave that and put another hand towel rail there. Yeah, but that's a sticky stuff. And it sort of went all funny, and that doesn't come off. I tried to get it off, so I don't know whether it's like a moldy type of thing, but so I started to clear away everything from the cabinet and get rid of that. When I took the cabinet off, the holes in the walls, there were big holes in the walls, and there's also holes in the walls where the hand towel rail was. So what I used was this. It's like a wall sticker. Now normally you would put it over a big hole and it has the metal. I just cut away the weave and put it over the small holes. It sticks down, but it will also stick down really well once you've put the smooth fill in, and that smooth fill is really amazing, and that's what I use over here. And this was actually in the laundry, this particular one, so I let that dry. I sanded it back and I just filled it up again and gave it another light sand, and it covers it up, and you can paint over it really well and you don't even see. But these were the holes that I had to fill in, and I did it that way. So getting off the silicone and the caulking, this is what I put around the pedestal basin, and it just, yeah, well, it speaks for itself, doesn't it? It's really bad. Also, yeah, I think you can buy like a mold resistant one, which is what I should have got, but the one I did get was for bathrooms, kitchens, and that's wet areas, that sort of thing, showers. So I don't know what was going on here, but I had to remove this, and it's pretty easy to remove. Actually, I love removing it. It's very satisfying. Putting it on is easy too, but removing it is sort of fun, and it's sort of cleansing to get rid of this dirty old stuff. It came off pretty easily as well. So this is what I was left with. As you can see, I couldn't just wipe it down and paint it. There was a lot of fixing I had to do to it, filling in the holes and also filling in the wall and fixing that. This is the laundry I did, if you saw my laundry makeover. And I'm using the smooth fill actually to fill in these big chunks that I took out of the laundry wall. I took it out because this was water damaged and it was just damaged. I had to get rid of it. But this smooth fill works really well, and it actually filled this in. At this point, I was really worried because I'm thinking, when is this going to end? Am I going to take all the drip rock off? But I didn't. So I put the smooth fill in, and that did really well. To the point where I even fixed the tiles that were chipped. I was not going to retile that. So I thought, I'm just going to fill it in with this wall smooth fill and see what happens. So I did that, and then I sanded it back. I painted it with a primer. It was like a precision adhesion primer, and then I painted over that with just a water-based satin trim paint, and that came up really, really nice. So I didn't even use tile paint on these, and they came up lovely and new. But the whole idea here is to tell you about the smooth fill, and that's what I used to mend the wall in the ensuite. So what I did first of all was to go over the paint that had been pulled off with that tile sticker, and I just sort of scraped it, got excess bits off. I put the smooth fill on, let it dry, sanded it once. I also put it on again, and then I sanded it back. So I sanded it back twice, so it was nice and smooth and ready to paint. Always needs a bit of a stir. And Danny, you should have got some protection there. And I'm doing it in nice, this is not tinted or anything. This is the white it was sold as, so it's sort of like a white base, and then from there you can tint it. But I'm just using the white because white's nice and fresh, and that's what I want to do here, is freshen it up. The bedroom is antique white USA, so it's a creamy off-white colour, so it's not sort of going to go, but it's okay because that bedroom could easily be painted if... Actually, Caleb, my son-in-law's a painter, so... Well, he used to be. He knows how to paint, so if they want to paint it, they're more than welcome, but it really doesn't need it. When I did up the bedroom, and if you saw that bed video I did for our room, I cleaned it all. I cleaned everything. I'm sort of glad I hadn't painted it stark white because I painted all the furniture white. It may have just been a bit too white. So basically then I just went around the edges with the paintbrush, cut in around the pedestal, I cut in around the ceiling. I actually painted with the paintbrush sort of in the shower up the top because it was such a small little area. And I also had to paint the small walls as well. I was thinking of putting these floor pops down, which I had put down in the laundry, and on the right there is the colour I painted the bathroom and the toilet floor. So I thought these would go really well with the laundry. They'd sort of tie in. I love them. So that was the laundry floor before I put the floor pops down. Really bad. It had been down for a long time. These floor pops were $125 for 5 packets. I didn't think it would actually do it all, but it did. Easy to lay, easy to cut. They just stick on, just so easy. Easy to match the pattern. I've done a video on it. I'll put a link to it there. But I was considering doing this in the ensuite. Being a really wet area, I thought, no, I won't. And also I didn't really need to because they're in good condition. But that's what these floor pops turned out like, and I highly recommend them. I love them, and I'm trying to find other places to put them in. But basically all I did, like I said, was cut through. I painted, I got the roller and did some of the 2 bigger walls. I rolled over that probably about 3 times. Then I cleaned the whole place. I scrubbed the floors, I scrubbed the glass, just refreshing the whole thing up. I did use a paintbrush for a lot of it, and I actually thought I could just paint the whole bathroom. There were 2 bigger walls, so this one and one sort of that was next to the toilet that I had to use the roller on. Well, I thought I would, just to make it quicker and a bit neater too. But as you can see, there's lots of little bits that I had to do by hand. I couldn't use the roller, for example, here. Also, the molding around the doors, around the window, and the actual door itself, I painted just with this wall paint, so it was a low sheen. I didn't use the satin or the trim paint, and I also did that in the laundry, and it came up really well, and I was really pleased with it, so I didn't need to buy any more paint and spend any extra money with that. Then I cleaned the floor, the tiles, the glass. I cleaned everything, and it just freshened the whole thing up. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll just show you what it looks like at the end, how it came up, and how it's just nothing amazing, don't get me wrong, but it's nice and fresh and clean and fixed. And when you consider what it was like beforehand, I'm pleased with it. It's usable now and respectable. And yeah, so that's how I fixed up my damaged wall and made our ensuite a little bit nicer for Sophie and Caleb when they move in. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, got something out of it. I'll see you all in next week's video. Have a great week, and bye for now. Should all be fine, and anyway, it couldn't be any worse than it was, so